Friends, let us pray. O God, you do not come to us in the chaos of the winds or the roar of an earthquake. You do not come to us in the flames of the fire, but in and through the sound of sheer silence. O God, quiet our minds, bring peace to our hearts, bring peace to our souls, so that we might meet you in that silence and listen for your word that is found in that still small voice. Amen. So who among us has not at some point in time in their lives said, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Sometimes it's when we're youthful people and we're behind the wheel of a vehicle with our friends and we're going someplace that we really don't want to go. For me, the most profound sense of what am I doing here was when I first joined the military. And I found myself in jump school, and I found myself in an airplane, the first airplane I was ever in. And they stood us up, and they opened up the doors, and they said, get ready to jump out. And I'm telling you, those words were swinging around my helmet. What am I doing here? I should have taken at least one airplane ride before I did this. What am I doing here? What are you doing here? That question can be asked in many different ways, in many different contexts. What am I doing here? I'm in the wrong place. What are you going to do here? Many different contexts. But some people, when they ask themselves that, find themselves without hope, without a future. That is when it is the most profound way that we ask ourselves, what am I doing here? Sometimes it's when someone says, the doctor has come in, and all the doctor has to say is, well, there is hope. Well, here's hope. There's always hope. And somebody says occasionally, well, as long as there's life, there's hope. Sometimes when you hear the word hope, it really kind of means that there is no hope. And that's a shame, because what I really want to argue today is that hope is that underlying value that we have. It's not just hope. That's the underlying value of everything that goes on with our lives. That should be the underlying value which undergirds what we do day by day, week by week, year by year. Hope isn't the only thing that's left. Hope is the thing that we build everything on. Be it the science of medicine, be it education, be it a job, be it a relationship, it is a hope that everything is laid upon. And yes, there is no denying the fact that sometimes all those things get stripped away, one by one, day by day, until maybe the only thing that is left is hope. But I'm here to argue that I don't want hope to become a bad word. I don't want hope to be the last thing that we cling to. It is something, but it is not the only thing that we cling to. Hope for a good outcome. Hope that it'll all turn out okay in the end. Hope that it will be okay for me. I think that's something totally different. I think that the kind of hope that I want to talk about has very something, but not totally, everything to do with the belief that it's all going to turn out okay for me. That I'm going to get that, whatever I'm hoping for. Be it a toy when you're a kid, be it a relationship when you're a young person, be it a deeper relationship as you age. There is hope, but there is something more foundational to what we're asking here. Why are you here is because that there is something more than hope. Something more than your own personal outcome. There's hope in new life for everybody. In new life for a community, in new life for all of creation. That's a different kind of hope. That's a different form of hope. And our hope is a more profound sense of hope. But there is always something that we can have a hard time grasping on this slippery concept. There's a story told about a Presbyterian minister by the name of David Redding. And he told a story about a Presbyterian elder who at 103 renewed a subscription to his magazine, the denominational magazine, for 3 years. Now that's hope. To come up with the story is that he did indeed read the last issue of that magazine. But there are, of course, times when we're disappointed. When that good outcome that we had hoped for, those that we love, for ourselves, does not happen. And when we only have hope, then it becomes pretty hopeless, in a sense. And that doesn't always happen at the end of life. It doesn't always happen in the hospital. It sometimes happens to us day by day. Some of us, all the time. All of us, some of the time. Where we are seized by a sense of hopelessness. Just like Elijah. Where we do not see another way out. Where life can be pretty hopeless. Depression, we're told, is in epidemic proportions in this country. For some of us, for all of us, we feel depressed at one time or another. Sometimes it's situational. But for some of us, it is clinical. Some of us are seized by a sense of hopelessness, a sense that life just has no meaning to it. It is clinical. It is everyday. And it is profound. We're seized by it, and it will not let us go. Depression can grab a hold of an individual and all too many people around us. It grabs a hold of us and it will not let us go. Such to the point that it is an actual pain. That the pain is so great that you'll do anything to end it. All too often, that's the way that people take out. Suicide is also in epidemic proportions in the general population, in the military people who are coming back from wars overseas. Suicide and depression are profound problems that cost us as a community in monetary ways untold dollars, but more to the point, the emotional toll that it takes upon all of us is profound. We're told that as religious people, as Christians, we live on hope. We always have hope. I wish that was true. I cling to it to some degree, but it is not always true. Sometimes that sense of pain overwhelms us, overcomes us, and it will not let us go. Yes, there are treatments, there are medications. And I want to be the first person to say, take full advantage of those things. Take full advantage of them. Because this profound depression, this profound sense of loss, this profound sense of hopelessness is not the defining quality of your life. It is not the true nature of your life. You may suffer through it. Those around you may suffer through it. And you may never actually get over it. But I'm arguing here today that it will, in some sense, the word be bearable. As people of faith, that's what I count on. Not for a cure, not for a miraculous cure, not even from a miraculous cure from psychiatry or psychology. But it's for a sense of being able to endure through it. To enjoy life to some degree, to share with those around you. And to do so in an open-hearted way that doesn't drive you to the cave on Mount Horeb. That doesn't require God to split rock with wind, whirlwinds of fire, earthquakes, and pillars of smoke. That's what I love about this reading today, that still small voice, which whispers into your ear, which is God, which is that value of life, which is, in some sense, hope. It says that you're loved. It will not make it better. Love will not make all things better. Faith will not make all things better. I'm afraid that miraculous cures are rare in this world. But maybe by reaching out to others, by living your life with those who love you, it will make it bearable. It will make all the loss in perspective. It will make your life rich and full because you're making other people's lives rich and full. To some degree, that's what I would say to Lena Miller. Her life made mine richer and fuller. It's not hopelessness. It's not hopeless. We do learn from each other. We do lean on each other. And if that's not God whispering in a still small voice, through the whirlwind, through the earthquake, through the fire, it is our lives. I don't know what is. A sense of being loved. A sense of loving back. That is what will get us through this life. That is what will make us who we are as human beings. Fully human. Fully Christian. Utterly faithful. Altogether, many people search out that broom tree, the shade of the broom tree. We lay down. God, just take me now. I don't know of a single one of us who hasn't felt that way. But there are those around us who feel that way all the time. Who have stories to tell, sure, lives to share. Love and being loved. Oh, that's the small voice of God. That's the small voice that is whispering through all of our experiences. That's my message. That's the message I get from 1 Kings. Another thing I want to share with you is, you know, Elijah, I don't doubt that you were feeling kind of bad, because the slaughter of 450 prophets of another religion is really not a good basis for good mental health. These are stories in which we have to pick and take in its entirety, but understand in the context. Context is Elijah going from the greatest success in all of Israel, showing up those prophets of Baal, and then in the same breath being driven out of the wilderness, hiding out for his very life, traveling for 40 days through the southern kingdom of Judah on his way to Mount Horeb, which, by the way, is Mount Sinai, seeking out that cave to hide out, save his life. Yes, he was totally depressed. I think he was clinically depressed. I don't think he was depressed. I think he may have been bipolar. But to some degree, we're all bipolar. Our lives are bipolar. The key is to understand that you're loved, and that your presence here adds more to my life and to the lives around you than you could ever imagine. Your willingness to support each other, to lift each other up, to listen to each other, and to teach that to those children. What are you doing here? I don't know about you, but that's what I'm doing here. May God bless each and every one of you. I love you all dearly.